What's the biggest invasion of privacy you've ever faced? Several summers some friends and I rented a beach house for the summer. Technically, it was half a house in that there were two entirely separate homes touching one another, with two kitchens, two of everything. They were connected only by a single door on the second floor, which allowed the landlord to make it a single really big house for all his guests during the off-season. In season he'd isolate the living spaces into one 4-bedroom house and one connected 5-bedroom house, which we had rented for ourselves and our guests, some of whom contributed to our cost. Not being entirely stupid, we asked that a lock be installed on our side of the connecting door, to which he agreed. We and our guests got settled and spent several fun days on the beach, making dinners together and enjoying perhaps a bit too much wine. We were also mindful of the fact that the houses shared a common wall, so we kept the general noise and music low. But, on the whole, that first week was great. And then something unusual happened. One morning one of our guests said she sensed something in her bedroom in the middle of the night. It was a moonless night, so it was more a matter of feeling than actually seeing, but she was adamant that someone or something was in the room. With ample wine, we were feeling no pain by bedtime that next night, but still, the two of us made sure the latch on the connecting door was securely bolted when we went to bed. Several nights passed uneventfully, and the incident was forgotten as after all, she hadn't actually seen anything. But that night I woke up to screaming. Some other guests and I ran to her room and this time she was certain she saw someone, a man. But he bolted from the room so fast that she could not tell who it was. My friend went immediately to the connecting door while I checked the downstairs front and rear doors, but they were all bolted tight, from the inside. Knowing none of our friends would have been sneaking around, suspicion began to fall on the landlord. He was living in the connected house at this time, so we walked around outside to his half of the building and knocked on the door. Nothing. So we pounded on the door, hard. No lights, no sounds, no movement. Maybe he wasn't home, or maybe he was hiding in shame and guilt. Either way, we were certainly not going to break into his house to find out. Of course, we also considered calling the police, but what exactly would we have said? Maybe someone was in the house? But only one person saw him. They were half asleep at the time, it was too dark to recognize who it was, and the doors were all bolted from the inside. The call would have been awkward at best. When we returned, my friend and I decided to check the door lock properly. We decided to very quietly unscrew and examine it. And that's where we saw it. The latch covered a slot about an inch long that had been carefully cut through the door, and on the back side of the latch there was a hole drilled into the slider. It was set up so that someone on the locked side of the door could put a pin through the slot and slide the latch back and forth. Quietly I showed it to everyone in the house and took pictures of it. We should have probably called the cops straight away at that point, but we took a vote and decided we wanted to get real evidence first. The next night, we set up a video camera hidden on a shelf at the far end of the hallway, pointing at the door, and connected it to a phone so we had a live feed. Then, in pairs, so we wouldn't fall asleep, we took turns standing watch from midnight to sunrise, hiding in the closet bedroom watching the feed. We quickly called the cops. At 3:45 a.m. we heard the faint click of the latch sliding to the unlocked position, and on the feed, we saw the door opening. It was him. And we had it on video. The friend he seemed to be targeting was rooming with another guest for her safety, but sure enough, he headed straight to her room. One of us flipped on the lights and blocked the connecting door, and the other ran down the hallway filming. We had him. On tape. Stupidly, we hadn't really talked through what we'd do if we actually caught him, but luckily, there was a lot of yelling and swearing, but no physical violence. After a half hour, the cops arrived and took him away for questioning. To this day, we still don't know what his motive was. Why he was so eager to get into my female friend's bedroom will forever be a mystery. We also got a refund from him for the beach house, but at this point, we were all pretty eager to get far, far away from it.